Vicki Lee joins me. She's the manager with Greendell Landscape Solutions, the retail center manager. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Okay, real quick story. When I was younger and I grew up in Michigan, I really thought I was a good gardener. I didn't realize that we just had really great soil till I moved here and the yard I bought doesn't have great soil. We really need to sort of make some amendments, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
what sorts of things?
Clay soil's terrible.
So where should we start?
Well, you have to start with the basics. You have to test your soil and see where your soil lies at as far as the pH, the consistency of it, and what the nutrient content is it.
And basically, once we find those things out, that's going to help determine either what's going to grow well there, or what we need to do.
Right. That's where you start with your building blocks to see what amendments you want to add to your soils. But today, since everybody is in this gardening phase, I was going to talk about our 5 different planting soils that they'll be using just around their house for gardening and essential needs.
Go right ahead. Run me right down the line, Vicki.
Okay. Well, the first one we've got here, this is our professional grow mix. We manufacture all of our own soils here at Greendell. Professional grow mix is our lightest area soil, and this is the one that you're going to use for your annuals, your flowers, and your container plants. It's going to act like a sponge, and it's going to absorb the moisture, and it's going to release the moisture at a really even rate, and it's nice and light and airy, so all those fine roots that are in your annuals and your vegetables can get through it really easily. You can use this in your containers or just in the ground as you're planting your annuals.
Okay, what's next?
Next is our perennial soil. Your perennials have a little bit of a healthier root structure to them, so they can take a more coarse, heavier soil. And we amend this. You can see the little blue dots inside there. Mm-hmm. That's our time-release fertilizer, and we've got lots of peat moss and bark elements in there that help provide nutrients in a stable condition for your perennials to grow in. Then our next one is our nursery mix. This one gets even more coarse. It's a little bit heavier soil. You'd want to incorporate this into the soil you take out when you dig a hole to plant or a tree, a shrub.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this mixes back in with the native soil to give you more aeration and hold moisture at the same time, and then release the fertilizer.
And that probably also helps with the roots being able to disperse and not...
It does. And since your trees and shrubs usually have an even stronger root system, they need a little bit heavier soil. You can see the difference in the lightness and the heaviness between these two.
Okay.
Then our next soil. Our next soil is our square foot garden soil. And this is the soil that we have developed. It's based on the square foot gardening recipe. It's a third peat, a third vermiculite, a third compost.
Okay.
And this is what you want to use in your raised beds.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize there was one especially for raised beds.
There is one especially for raised bed. It's got the compost. It doesn't have any chemical fertilizer in it. It's got the compost in it. That's going to be your organic, your natural fertilizer that's going to release slowly, and it's got a lot lower nutrient level to prevent any burning that might happen to your plants.
Oh, okay. And you got one more.
And then the last one here, this is our topsoil plus. This is a 50% compost and 50% topsoil mixture that we would recommend overlaying on your garden and tilling into your existing garden that's in the ground, not a raised bed, if you want to go into the garden like that.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Now, how often do we need to be amending these, adding things? Can we reuse the soil year in and year out, or should we really get new every season?
You can use it to an extent, as if you're building containers, you could use, to save money, you could use your last year's soil in the bottom half of your container.
Okay.
And then always put new fresh soil around where the root base of your plant's going to be at to help give more nutrition.
Wow, all right, I learned a lot. Also, I learned that you guys have some specials happening right now.
We do. We have the entire month of May, we have 25% off all perennials in the garden center. We also have 25% off all tropicals in the garden center.
That is amazing. That is absolutely no excuse
Yeah,
not to get
for
out there and
May
dig.
sale, that is a good one.
That is one. We go to GreendellLandscapes.com, right?
Yep, GreendellLandscape.com.
All right, I'll put that link on IndyStyle.tv. Well, I won't. Somebody else will. I don't know how to do that. Thank you, Vicki. I learned a lot.